Alrighty, so welcome to this Friday's live topic, and we're going to be talking about our 3 ways to stay on track because of the importance of being accountable.
Oh, okay.
Yay!
Yes.
Okay, so with being accountable, it's not just knowing it's not just knowing, but we actually need to do it. We need to
Yep.
act on it.
Yep.
So we're going to go through 3 quick ways to stay on track.
Awesome.
Before we start that, for those who haven't tuned in before, I've got Justin McMillan here, the principal of Smart Wealth. Justin, how long have you been advising?
Well over a decade, probably a decade and a half now. So yes, it seems like a long, long time. But yes, so about 7-8 years in employed roles, and then the last 5 years being here self-employed. So yep, but all the way along, helping people along their journey. So yeah. Yes,
Good
feels
fun.
like a journey for me, yes.
Feels like a journey for you. Awesome. So the 3 quick ways that we can stay on track.
Yes.
Now the first step is to make a plan.
Yes.
Okay, so why do we make a plan?
Why do we make a plan? So, so we know where we're going, but more importantly, so in most cases, being accountable, we're going to talk about single people or a couple. So first, if we're talking about a couple, the first step of making a plan is to have a discussion, talk to each other, and see if we're both on the same page. And most of the times we're not. So it's having that compromise and going through what's important to each other, and then prioritising, and then prioritising those as a couple, and then going from there. So making a plan, and then it's just not having priorities, but actually a way to get to those priorities. And first of all is to have some kind of vision board. So I'll go back to the old analogy of personal training or going to the gym. A lot of us, when we say, okay, we're going to lose weight, we cut out a picture from the old Woman's Day or whatever it may be, or Cleo, or Men's Health, whatever it is, and get on there and say, this is what I hope it to look like, and try to off to a personal trainer and say, this is what I look like. They go, yep, that's great. And then stick it in the fridge. So why not do the same thing? So have a vision board. Okay, this is what we want to do. We want to go on holidays in 3 years' time. We want to send our kids to this school. We want to live here. We want to have this kind of car, all those kind of things. We want to have this kind of lifestyle, freedom. Why not stick it on a fridge? And then just every time, an impulse buy, or have it next to your computer, or have a screensaver or something like that. So every time there's a urge to do some impulse shopping, you can go back to the vision board and see why you're saying no to yourself and why it's all for a greater good and all that kind of stuff. So just keep you on track that way. So first of all, discuss amongst yourselves, prioritise, have a vision board, then how you're going to get there, how you're going to get from here to here, and normally that entails getting some assistance from other people. So then, get the guidance you need, somebody you trust, and help you on your way.
So having a purpose.
Having a purpose, exactly
Having
right.
a purpose
There we go.
to what
Summarised
you're
very well.
having a purpose to what you're trying to
Yep.
do. And yes, it is collaborative. So we work with our family, and then we work with professionals, so we can bring the 2 together to achieve what we're after.
Yeah, exactly right.
All right. Now the other thing is talking about a vision board, but we also need to record the plan. So that's point number 2.
Yep.
Is we need to record it. So we write it out in the first place. So back to your analogy, whether it be a menu plan or how regularly we're going to the gym or whatever it happens to be. So we do the same thing.
Yep. So either you can do it the old manual way, get out a spreadsheet, list all your assets and how they're tracking and all those kind of things, and how your cash flow is going, and this is what we budgeted for, and this is how much we spent, and then have another discussion, is that right, and do we need change, all that kind of stuff. So you can do it in a spreadsheet form, or you can invest, get technology, which most of it's free now, and it'll do it for you. We've got some great tools that'll measure all your property values, all your net asset position, all your shares, whatever you may have, super and all that kind of stuff. Monitor your loans so you can track over time if you're on track to where you want to be and see that improvement. So when you're doing it day to day, like a lot of things, you get lost in the bigger picture, and it's hard to forget about the bigger picture. And so going back to that and ascertaining, seeing that progression over time, obviously gives us confidence and motivation to stay on track. And then there's tools about cash flow, and it'll tell you how much you spent on shopping and eating out and schools and all those kind of things. So depends if you have time and you don't want to spend the money, you can do it yourself, or conversely, if you don't have time and it bores the crap out of you doing that kind of stuff, just use technology that's out there, and either way, just make it happen. And then the only way you can see if you're on track or not and keep motivated is to record during the journey.
Yeah, so we have a great tool. We use My Prosperity for our advice clients, and it's fantastic. You have a way that you can tag your purchases, and so you can say that this is towards this or this is for that, and you can assign a certain amount. You can set the budget up, and it gives you regular reports. Fantastic tool. We're going to put the link to My Prosperity to take a look. So we'll put the link at the bottom afterwards, so you can go check that out for yourselves. And the third point. So the third point is, okay, so we've set a plan, we're recording it, and the third point is to check in regularly.
Yeah, so we don't sit down one day and sit down and do a plan and then just record it and everything else just happens magically. We just, nothing else gets in the way, life gets in the way, kids have accidents, things break down, we need to pay for things unexpectedly. That's just life. Also, when we sit down and do our plan, our same aspirations don't just stand still for the next 15 years. They change over time as as kids grow or we grow, or that kind of stuff. So you've got to check in, talk about those changing aspirations. Regroup after those setbacks of things happen unexpectedly, and just check in, reset, recharge, and then continue on again.
Yep. So we can check it ourselves.
Yep.
We can check our reports that are coming in from however we've set them up, and also to have appointments with us and reset annually is the best way to do it. Check it over. Yeah,
like probably the biggest growth we've seen in our business is sort of like financial, not counselling, but just bringing mediation or just facilitation, just bringing couples together, and just the experience that we've built here is just to ask the right questions and just let each person, especially within a couple, just have their say and hear each other's point of view, and then bring those together again for a priority, for the priorities going forward, and then set the new path. So that's what we're probably seeing a lot of at the moment. So if you're there and every time you talk about finances it turns into some kind of discussion or argument, and you don't feel like you're getting anywhere, then there's obviously help out there that that we just facilitate that and allow each people to have their say, and it's a lot more enjoyable for everybody.
Yeah, certainly is. So there's three things where: make a plan, record as we go, and to check in regularly. Now, so I'll be putting My Prosperity in the comments below, like I said, so you can check it out afterwards. Next week, what are we discussing? Why a financial trainer and not just my accountant? So
we're just talking about how we work with accountants. So we work with accountants all the time. So we find that really boosts people's wealth journey is working with professionals who are like-minded and work together. All professionals have their speciality in different areas. We have work with real estate agents, obviously around property, stockbrokers around shares, accountants around tax, property managers, finance brokers, getting better deals around loans and things like that, and loan structuring, and us sort of coordinating all that together. So we find that's the best way, or the clients have the greatest probability of achieving their aspirations going forward by engaging a team.
Sure. So people can contact us for a free, no obligation, 15-minute introduction meeting. Can just do that online from comfort of their own home, if that's what they want to do, or of course can come in.
And an email address for that, for people to email for that, is customer...
Client support.
Client support, yes.
Client support at smartwealth.com.au.
There we go.
Or phone 1300 889961. or of course comment below, or
just messages.
messages through Facebook. That's all fine. We can get in contact and help you out anyway. And in the meantime, have a look at My Prosperity and check out what an awesome tool it is. And we will look forward to next week talking about the next topic.
Sounds good. See you then.